Hello and welcome to another AEW weekly recap. Uh, Today's Dynamite came from Austin, Texas, or this week's Dynamite came from Austin, Texas. They started right out with the first match. Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero. This was pretty much just a Kenny Puff match. It worked out pretty good. It was really fun. Kenny dominated and controlled the match very early. Rocky tried to use the ref to distract and kick Kenny in the groin. But Kenny winds up just booting him. Rocky does his slide thing, his little slide taunt thing to the corner, trying to pose. And Kenny just comes up behind and V-triggers him so beautifully from behind. It was a really nice shot. Well done on the camera. The finish was Kenny hitting a V-trigger and then a one-winged angel on Rocky Romero. I give it a 3-star. I thought it was pretty good. A good opening match. It's always good to see Kenny out there. He was looking really healthy. What did you think?
2.5.
2.5? Okay. Post-match, Shivani came down to the ring to ask Kenny who he wants to win in the main event of the show. The main event being Swerve Strickland versus Andrade. The winner of that match will be facing Kenny next week on Dynamite. Kenny reiterated that he came back, he's healthy, he feels better than ever, and he doesn't care who he has to face, friend or foe. That brought out Hangman, who came down and said that he would rather be fighting with Kenny instead of against, but they were both going for the same thing, so that's how it's going to be. And then that brought Swerve out, who came out and basically said the same fucking thing. Kenny then got back on the mic and he goes to call out Swerve, thinking that Swerve's looking for a fight, which is kind of weird since Swerve already has the main event fight tonight, but Kenny is starting to make eyes at possibly challenging Swerve to try and build up his position. So we'll see how that develops because Don Callis decided to come out and interrupt all of this fun. He came out and reminded Swerve that Andrade is going to end his undefeated streak. He told Kenny that he did all this stuff with him. He chewed out Hangman a little bit too. Kenny then pointed out to Don that Don came out solo. So Kenny jumped the ring and went and chased Don off. And that was a nice way to end that opening match and post-match segment. They went into the Cosmic Babes of Wrath, getting pumped up for Statlander versus Tekla tonight. And the Babes of Wrath made the challenge to the Sisters of Sin. If they stay out of the main event, and they stay out of the match, they do not get involved, the Babes of Wrath will give Sisters of Sin a title shot on Collision. So here, match number 2. Jon Moxley versus Ace Austin in a Continental Eliminator match. These matches are 20 minutes. If it goes to the 20 minutes, the competitor gets a title shot. If the competitor wins, they earn a chance to challenge for it. Yeah. Ace Austin looked good in this. Ace does a good job getting his shots in on Moxley early, using his speed before Moxley can start just overpowering with the aggressiveness.
Oliver.
Ace did a crazy evasion where he jumped between the turnbuckle pads in the corner to dodge Moxley coming in, and it looked really good. Moxley wound up catching Austin as he was coming out over the ropes with a cutter, coming in from the ropes with a cutter, and then followed it up with a big Death Rider to get the pin. I gave it a 3-star. I thought it was another really just solid, good match.
I give it a 3.
Post-match, Takeshita came out to make eyes and challenge, and then Doyle and Davis jumped Moxley from behind. I don't I don't mind Takeshita challenging Moxley. Takeshita has the pin against him during the Continental Classic. The Don Callis family getting involved in this, they were working together not that long ago. It makes no sense. Match number 3. TNT Championship match. El Clone finally getting his shot versus Mark Briscoe. Briscoe's going for that revenge for Hologram's injury. Clone and Briscoe are a very good match together. Briscoe is more striking, more hard hit, good counter offense. Clone was doing enough high flying to keep the high flying energy up there, but had kept it grounded enough with like technical wrestling that it was really good. Clone had to do a double lean back on his stalled Pele kick thing, which was fun. Fisherman Bomb sets up a froggy bow for a 2 count from Briscoe, and then after that, Mark went for the J Driller to get the finish, and El Clone popped out of the fucking pile driver. Like, nice, beautiful, boot up. Clone tried for the portal bomb, but wasn't able to get it. Briscoe countered it into a roll-up and got the 3 count. I gave the match a 2. I really enjoyed it. I just wanted more. I wasn't quite happy with how slow it felt. I thought it should have been a faster paced match.
I give it 4.
Oh, wow. See here, after the match, Briscoe decided that he really enjoys the open challenge style. The open challenges. So he's going to do an open challenge on Collision, but there is one rule. He's sick and goddamn tired of fighting the Don Callis family. He wants nothing to do with the Don Callis family. And the lights go out. And the music hits, and I didn't recognize it, but I had a feeling Psycho Killer pops up on the Tron. I don't know that name because I didn't follow NXT very well. I didn't follow WWE very well for the last few years. But Tommaso Ciampa comes out and has made his way into the AEW arena. He is going to be so good. As soon as I realized it was Ciampa, I'm like, wait, this is one of the guys that I actually remember from Black and Gold NXT days. He's one of the ones that is good. So I'm excited. See here. They had a backstage segment with Kyle Fletcher and Okada. Okada had asked for the time. Apparently he wanted to apologize. He wasn't thinking when he took the screwdriver during the pay-per-view and screwed Kyle over. He was very sorry. So Kyle accepted the apology. I mean, really, what else are you going to do when a guy comes up and apologizes straight up to you for a screw-up? See here. Next out was MJF. He came out, tried to get on the mic, but Brody King immediately came out and interrupted him. Max, though, kept on the mic. He called Brody a puppy who follows others like Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy, and now Bandito. MJF even offers Brody a job to be his new heavy hitter, which we've seen how stable of a position that is for people. Brody doesn't follow people. He has friends. Brody admits that he needs wins in order to be able to challenge for the champion. And he went and talked to Tony Khan, and they figured out the perfect person that Brody could get a win against and get a shot at the championship to earn himself a shot. That person is MJF. So next week we will be having a World Championship Eliminator match. MJF versus Brody King. And if Brody wins, he will get the match for the championship in 2 weeks at Grand Slam Australia. So, fingers crossed. I really would like that. That's a good main event to have on that episode. So yeah, they had a video package from the Bucks. They're going back to their old ways, their old style. Super kick parties for everyone. So that'll be fun. I actually preferred the Super Kick Party entrance music versus any of their other stuff. Granted, the Pomp and Circumstance one that they were doing here with the heel character stuff was fun. It sounds a lot like Roman Reigns' entrance music. And I thought that was a real nice thing. I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed that. But they're going back to their old way. Super Kick Party is back. Fourth match, Women's World Championship. Thekla versus Statlander. Thekla used a spider taunt in the ropes to lure Statlander in, trying to drop kick, but she sits up and avoids it. Statlander mounted a comeback and gets a Blue Thunder Bomb, but only gets a 2. Thekla landed the spear, but couldn't make a cover. Goes for the submission, then can't get that. Then the stomp, still only gets a 2. Thekla does the spider spear thing again and gets evaded. Statlander hits the gut wrench power bomb, the babe with the power bomb. And then she hits Saturday Night Fever to get the win. This one I gave a 3-star as well. I gave a lot of 3 stars in the start of this.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
Yeah. Bane and Ford then came out on the stage to make eyes at Statlander to be the next ones to challenge. Which, okay, this is going to continue. The Sisters of Sin family is really a 5-piece, and yeah. They had a backstage. Don and his family are focused on bringing back the gold to the family. He's got Andrade focused on the world title. Fletcher is getting Pac focused on the TNT title. And tonight, Davis and Doyle will be challenging for the tag team titles. And Take is upset with Kyle. Takeshita comes out and tells Kyle that he's upset with him for accepting Okada's apology. Which again, like, the guy came up to you and it's like, I'm sorry. You really want to start a fight with him? You're in a group with him. You've got to maintain at least group dynamic. Yeah. See, they had a video package to build up the Perry and Ricochet feud, recapturing Luchasaurus being taken out, and Perry is planning on taking everything from Ricochet. Then it cut to a backstage with the GOA, Gates of Agony, and Ricochet jumping Jack Perry, telling him, what you gonna do. Yeah. This is all ahead of their upcoming match. Perry's got another shot at Ricochet's national title, so. Match number 5. Davis and Doyle versus FTR for the Tag Team Championship. God damn, Davis and Doyle truck people. These two guys are just massive fucking pieces of meat. And they hit you so hard. Doyle just trucked through Cash like 3 times right at the start of this. Just Davis and Doyle catch Cash during a tope and just chuck him at Dax on the outside. Dax did manage to muscle up Davis to hit an avalanche belly to back suplex off of the top rope. Cash landed the splash afterward for the I can't remember what they call that, Power and Glory or something like that, but it was only good enough for a 2 count. After that, the Death Riders showed up at ringside, distracted the ref, and Moxley runs down and nailed Doyle with his Continental Championship.
Oh,
FTR
shit.
Then takes out Doyle with their finisher and get the pin. Oh. Alright. Yeah, so FTR pins. I give this one a 4. I'm just mad that Mox got involved. If Mox hadn't gotten involved, this would have been new champions. 3? Yeah. They did a backstage then with Orange. Orange wants wants to know what's going on with Yuta because he just seems so stupid. I don't know. This was all to set up an upcoming mixed tag match. Yuta came in with Marina, and then Tony Storm shows up to get all four of them back there. We're set up, though, for Orange and Tony versus Yuta and Shafir coming up eventually, probably here in 2 weeks, I'm betting, on the next Dynamite. That was the last backstage segment, and now we're into the last thing before the main event. Swerve versus Andrade. Winner goes on to face Kenny next week at Dynamite. Both men on the second rope. Swerve gets a Hurricane Rana off, jumping across, doing it real nicely. Outside, Andrade flirts with the same girl that he's been flirting with out there. Froggy thinks that it's his new special lady. Because I'm pretty sure he's divorced from Charlotte.
It's the same damn lady.
It's the same chick, so yeah. He gives her the number, or no, she gives him her number this time. Swerve goes for the pile driver on the rail. Andrade counters it with the backdrop. Andrade crotched himself, though, right after. Like, real bad. Both of them, though, make it back in before the 10 count. Andrade grabbed the ref's hand to distract them at the finish and low-blowed Swerve with a back kick and then hit his finishing move, the DM, for the win. I wasn't happy with how they finished this match. I gave it a 2. It was a really good match. The finish just sucked.
I gave it 4.5.
Wow. Okay. So after that, they had a segment of backstage with Renee trying to ask MJF a question.
He just dumped the whole water bottle on the floor.
Kenny Omega comes in and interrupts just to say hello. And then MJF tries to hurry out of the arena and runs into Andrade, who has to go and make his goal of taking the title from MJF clear. He gets outside to go get into his rental car, and he's stopped by Hangman. So Max finally jumps in the car, and they drive off super fast to end the show. Ugh. Good show, though, overall. Setting up a lot of stuff for next week and the inroads for Grand Slam. Also set up a lot of stuff for Collision, which came from the Esports Arena in Texas. They jumped right in. Match 1 was Darby versus Clark Connors. For those that don't know who Clark Connors is, he is a associate of Gabe Kidd. He is a member of the Unbound company in New Japan. It's basically what Bullet Club War Dogs turned into when Bullet Club finally imploded and died, which is sad because I miss Bullet Club already. Connors. No.
Darby skated in, got tackled by Clark.
Yeah. Darby gets kicked off the turnbuckle and bounced off the apron with his face, just like horribly.
He coughed and dropped onto the knees of Clark.
Connor hit a really cool looking like turnaround and came sideways in to spear Darby through the ropes. And it was done so that he could spear him diagonally and they could go down and hit the apron before coming down to the ground. And I thought that looked really good. Like I haven't seen somebody do the spear that way. And it looked really nice.
Darby got the win with a scorpion leg lock. I gave it a 2.5.
Yeah. Scorpion Deathlock and Connor tapped. It was a pretty good finish, though. I mean, Connor looked for a couple of near falls, but couldn't close it. Darby hit the Scorpion Death Drop and then Coffin Drop. Connor blocked with the knees. Darby tried to get last rights, and when he couldn't get last rights, he got into the Deathlock. So it was a nice sequence to finish it off. I gave it a 3-star.
2.5.
Darby tried to get on the mic to talk, but Gabe Kidd jumped him. This feud isn't over. Gabe Kidd has vowed to end Darby's career, if not his life. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care about the Death Riders. This ain't a Death Riders thing. Gabe Kidd wants Darby, and it's going to be good. A psycho and a guy that's willing to do psycho things. Yeah, I'm excited. They had a recap of the Statlander Tekla match. And all the stuff they did on Dynamite to set up for Sisters of Sin versus Babes of Wrath. Then they did a backstage segment with Jet Speed, who have finally come up with the new name for the trio with Hangman. They are now Jet Set Rodeo. I like it. I had heard rumor that might be the name they go for. I'd seen people suggesting it online. Speedball is a massive gaming nerd, so it definitely makes sense to go that way. Match number 2. The Rascals making their debut against the Crew. So this is hard, because I'm having to try and learn all 3 of these guys' names, and the only one of the Rascals that I actually know and recognize when I see him is Trey Miguel, and he's in TNA. He's the one we didn't get, and he's the only one that I can see him and be like, hey, I know that guy. But they had Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier in the match with Myron Reed in their corner. Wentz hit the Bronco Buster on Leo after getting the hot tag, and it's been a while since I've seen somebody use a Bronco Buster. It's a fun move. Crazy misdirection spot with all 4 guys trying to run back and forth and then changing directions on each other, which was a little bit hard to keep track of. It ended up with the Crew landing stereo topes out to the other 2 guys. Wentz finally came in. They started getting the advantage back, and then they hit a move that they called it the Hot Fire Flame, and this was their pinfall. It is a standing moonsault next to the opponent on the ground, where you then the partner shoves you over so you land on your opponent. It's a cool move, but I don't think it should be a finisher. I gave the match a 3-star. It was mainly because of that finishing move. If it had been a different, more impactful finishing move, I would have given it a 4-star.
I gave it a 2.
See here, they had another video of Windsor and Hayter getting ready to tear up the tag division. And then there was a backstage with Moxley as he was saying that he can relate to Takeshita and his passion and desire and drive. Takeshita knows how to do the work. He knows how to fight. He knows that this is a fight to be in this business. But he warns Don Callis and the family, don't make this gang warfare. The Death Riders are good at gang warfare. You won't like it. Which is kind of a weird thing to say to Don Callis' family. I'm pretty sure the Callis family has them outnumbered. Almost 2-1 at this point. Granted, I don't think you can really count Rocky Romero as much in that, but see here, we had Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Gino Manio and Lady Bird Monroe.
I thought it was Gino Mandina.
Mandina? Is that... I tried to write down these 2 people's names as I was hearing them.
Pretty sure it was
Mandino?
Medina.
Gino Medina and Lady Bird Monroe.
Yeah.
This was a short match to build.
Duke and Marina and Yuta jumped into the ring and attacked Orange and Tony, of course.
Yeah. It was a hip attack to Orange Punch on Gino for the pinfall. I gave the match 2. Afterward, Yuta jumped Cassidy. Tony gets
Tried to
jumped
cut
by
his hair.
Shatlander.
Then Tony gets
Shafir.
scissors and chases Marina and Yuta off.
Yeah.
I gave that a 2.
So this set up for the match that they will be having at Grand Slam here in 2 weeks. It will be a mixed tag match, hair versus hair. Whoever gets pinned loses their hair.
Yeah.
Early prediction.
It's not going to be orange.
It's not going to be orange. Who do you think's getting pinned? Who do you think is losing their hair?
Who's it? What's it set up to?
It's Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Marina, Shafir, and Yuta.
Shafir and Yuta.
So you think, will it be Shafir or will it be Yuta that gets pinned?
It'd be Yuta because he's the weakest link. Shafir would just do mother's milk. They're going to be expecting it.
I think it's going to be Tony.
I don't. I think it's going to be Yuta.
I think it will be Tony.
I hope it's Yuta. About time he gets his head shaved.
I hope it's Tony. I think Tony Storm would be totally willing to shave her head.
That would be disgusting, and she would look ugly as hell.
They had a backstage with Ortiz and Kingston and the grizzled young veterans. Basically, they just built this up and decided to make their next match on the next Saturday, a parking lot brawl. And as soon as they make it a parking lot brawl, Big Bill boots them in the fucking face from off screen. Just comes in and boom, trucks them over. GYV paid him off for the attack. And then they did a recap of Tommaso Ciampa debuting because the TNT Championship match was next up. Tommaso Ciampa versus Mark Briscoe. Holy crap, this match freaking spanked. Code of Honor was adhered to. Both of these gentlemen are Ring of Honor people. So, handshake at the start of the match. It was very evenly matched at the start. I don't know how much history these two have from their time in Ring of Honor, but this was tight throughout. Ciampa hit his Psycho Driller on the apron before they went to the commercial break, and man, that thing looks mean. They came back from break, 10 minutes remaining. Briscoe has finally regained some control, and he's coming in, and Ciampa hits the Widow's Bell. I think the Willow's Bell or Widow's Bell. It's a draping DDT, kind of like the Heat Seeker, but it's a DDT on Briscoe as he was coming in. That got him a 2 count. And then Ciampa hit another Psycho Driller from the top rope, which I couldn't believe that only got a 2 count. They called the 5 minutes remaining, and they end up going to the outside again. Briscoe gets the ringside table out and goes to set it up at the side. And then, I don't really understand exactly what was happening. But at one point, Ciampa is actually standing on the table, chanting and posing and playing with the crowd. Briscoe's gone back into the ring and is up on the turnbuckle. Ciampa gets off the table, turns around, and Briscoe jumps off the turnbuckle and hits him with a froggy bow and brings him back through the table. So it was kind of weird to see somebody go through a table from a standing position initially, but it was a fun, crazy spot. They get back in the ring, and Ciampa manages to escape the J-Driller and cleans Briscoe's clock with a running knee. Just hard running knee. Dropped the pad, drilled him with it. Gets the pinfall. We have a new TNT champion on their debut match. I gave it 5 stars.
You gave it a 2.5.
Ooh! Ow! Why?
I don't like Ciampa.
You're just mad that Briscoe lost.
Briscoe deserved to keep his championship.
Well, I don't know how long Ciampa's going to hold on to the new championship because Kyle Fletcher came out after the match to stand at the top of the ramp and make eyes and challenges at Ciampa's freshly won championship. They had a backstage segment of Josh Alexander telling Moxley to stay in his own lane with regards to Takeshita. And in the background is Lance Archer and Rocky Romero just beating the crap out of a bunch of extras. Alexander's just trying to talk, bam, 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 throwing guys around in the back. It was, I like it. I like it. I like watching Lance Archer beat up people. They need to put him in the ring more. So here, match number 5, the International Championship. Adam Priest going up against Okada. So Okada came out with no robe on and the title in like a travel bag because Priest doesn't deserve to see the title unless he wins. This isn't a like eliminator match that he could see it at the next. This was an actual championship match. Apparently what had happened was Okada got his bag stolen at the airport. And all of his gear, including the title. This is, I think, the second title that has been stolen from a wrestler in AEW. I think the last one was Hobbs had his car broken into, and they stole the TNT title out of Hobbs's car. Or was it? No, I think it was Wardlow that had his car broken into, and they stole the title out of. Just, it was weird, but they made the explanation on commentary. Rocky Romero got on there and explained, no, he doesn't deserve to see the title. I told Okada, don't bother with the robe. Don't bother with the pyro. This guy is such a loser. He doesn't deserve any of it. So, Okada faked a knee injury, which brought Rocky Romero running down from the commentary desk to blast freaking Priest on the outside. Priest did do a good job throughout this match keeping up with Okada. He's not that big of a guy, and Okada's pretty fucking tall. Priest looked good. Priest looked strong going up against him. Priest gets low blowed, though, by Okada. Priest gets a low block to Okada's knees outside, and then flips Okada, and it looks good. But Okada manages to get the Rainmaker, gets the 3, keeps his title. I give it a 3-star.
3.5.
Okay. They had another backstage with the Rascals. They like parking lots. They like hanging out in parking lots because that's where they have their medicine. So they're going to go and help Uncle Eddie out in the parking lot next week. Eddie Kingston comes in to talk with them and hang out a little bit, and then they all head out to the parking lot to have some medicine together. So we're going to get all 3 of the Rascals that we got, plus Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill and Brian Keith and the Grizzled Young Veterans in a 4v4 parking lot brawl next Saturday. So here they had a recap of the World Championship story. Brody getting his Eliminator match set up. The Kenny and Andrade. Kenny Andrade for the shot at Revolution. Then they had it backstage with Ciampa, discussing how he made his decision to come to AEW and do what he's doing for his family. He says that the AEW fans and everybody here are now his family, and he's going to continue to work and do what he does to make his family proud. Okay. Women's Tag Championship match. This was set up on Wednesday because the Sisters of Sin didn't get involved. They get this match. The Babes of Wrath came out looking strong as usual. The Sisters of Sin started aggressive and took the Babes outside. Willow regained the advantage for her team, but gets overwhelmed from tag team offense, getting separated from her teammate for too long. Julia tried to do the rope walk, the Undertaker rope walk thing. I know you hate that spot completely. And I can see why, because she went to go do it and, like, slipped off, tripped up somehow when she jumped off and landed on Willow. And Willow just kind of stumbled. So they turned it into a pinfall attempt. At least they did a good job recovering on it and didn't bother trying to, like, redo the spot. I hate when people screw up a spot and then they try and go and redo it. There was a soul food net breaker combination to Sky Blue from the Babes of Wrath to get the pinfall. I wasn't that happy with this match. I only gave it a 2. I'm kind of tired of having Sisters of Sin and Babes of Wrath constantly fighting each other. It's not developing.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah. Afterward, Tekla jumped Willow, jumped the winners. Statlander came out to help clear the ring, and then Ford and Bane came in as well. So we just had a nice giant brawl at the end. It was an alright ending match. I was not expecting Babes of Wrath to lose their championship yet, so that was just kind of a given. I was not expecting Ciampa to win the championship on his first match. It is sad to see Briscoe lose the title, but Ciampa's going to be a good champion. And this means we'll have him, like, consistent on TV. Because he's got to be on to defend his championship. So he should be a workhorse. I think you'll like him if we watch it some more.
Old as hell.
He's only a couple years older than me.
Old as hell.
Hey, I'm planning on being the 40-year-old greenhorn starting.
Uh-huh.
I want to be the 40-year-old young lion. If I could get in and do half of what Ciampa does, I would be happy.
Uh-huh.
That is it for our review for this week's episodes of Dynamite and Collision. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Hopefully, here soon we will finally be feeling a little bit better. It seems that as soon as one of us gets healthy, the other one tends to get sick. But if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you've got any questions, anything you'd like to ask us at all, leave a comment down below. Hit the bell icon so you can get a notification when we finally get our next video up. And we will see you in the next one. Have a great night.